Welcome to video number 4 in this foundational series. Your relationship results, they don't lie. So let's get into the material. The ultimate measuring stick. So we've talked about your facts, feelings, and focus, and now we come to the final piece of the code, that is the results. And here's the hard truth that most men don't want to hear. Your reasons are not equal to your results. We live in a world that people have created and twisted this reality, that my reasons are my results. My good intentions, they count as a success. My efforts matter more than my outcomes. But God gave us a simple measuring stick. By their fruit, you shall know them. Your reasons don't pay the bills. And let's get brutally honest about something. Your reasons, they don't create the sex life that you want. They don't build emotional connection with your wife. They don't pay the mortgage. They don't put food on the table. They don't make your wife feel desired. And they don't create the marriage that you dream about. Right? What does? Your results do. You can have the best intentions in the world and you can have the great reasons of why things are the way that they are, but at the end of the day, results are the only things that matter. Your relationship results, they don't lie. Let's look at the actual fruit of your relationship. How many times have you had sex in the last month? What is the actual number? How many times did you initiate and get a positive response? How often does she initiate with you? And what is the quality of your sexual connection? These numbers, they don't lie. They don't care about your reasons. This is just what it is. So the emotional connection results. How often do you have meaningful conversations with your spouse or somebody else? When was the last time that she told you something deep and personal? How does she respond when you walk in the room? What does her tone look like? How does her body posture look? Is she making eye contact with you, or is she shutting down and walking away because she's upset that you're now in the room because her stomach just got tight, right? Does she seek you out for comfort and support, right? And then your communication results. Can you tell her anything without her getting defensive? Does she come to you with problems, or does she go to friends? How do you handle conflicts in your relationship? Do you feel heard and understood by her, right? And the lies that you tell yourself, the sexual lies. She's just not that sexual. More often than not, women are more hornier than men are. Right? Menopause and perimenopause, that can change things. But for my wife, come to find out, she gets way more aroused than I do. But I was in this lie of women just don't like sex. I heard that from a teenager and I absorbed that lie and I lived out that lie in my actions. Right? Another lie. Marriage always kills a sex life. That's a lie. We're too busy for intimacy. Another lie. That's a priority. At least we're not fighting about it. Right? Emotional lies. She's just not that expressive. Well, we communicate just fine. We don't need to talk about everything. Some couples, well, they're just not that close. Relationship lies. We're doing better than most couples, right? At least we don't fight. Marriage, it's just hard work. She's going through a phase. Stop. These are all excuses designed to help you avoid looking at your actual results. What's the biblical standard? God was very clear about how to measure success. By their fruit you shall know them. If you plant good seed in good soil, you get good fruit. If you plant bad seed in bad soil, you get good fruit. If you plant a bad seed in bad soil, you get bad fruit. The fruit tells you everything that you need to know about seed and the soil. Your relationship fruit tells you everything you need to know about your relationship, right? Good soil plus good seed equals good fruit. Bad soil plus good seed equals bad fruit. Good soil plus bad seed equals bad fruit. What does your relationship fruit tell you about the soil and the seeds that you've been planting? Okay, your body results. Your body is the biblical barometer. It's the first thing that God gave you, right? What are your physical results? How do you see yourself in the mirror? Do you like what you see? Are you proud of what you see naked, standing there in front of the mirror, looking at yourself, right? Or are you super critical, or does it shy you away, right? Does it make you feel like, oh, I got to go do all this work? How do you feel about that? How do you feel when you wake up? Are you groggy? Does it take you hours just to finally wake up? Do you need that cup of coffee just to feel alive? I like my cup of coffee. It's my soul juice. I love it, but I don't need it to make me feel alive. What's your energy level throughout the day? Can you sustain an active, a high level of output all day long, or do you crash to and fro throughout the day, right? How do you sleep? Do you get the needed hours of sleep each night, or are you running on 4 hours of sleep? What's your sex drive like, right? What's your testosterone level at? How are you feeling sexually, right? These are the results that you've been stewarding in your body that God gave you. Your wife sees these results too. How you carry yourself. your energy level, your physical presence, your confidence or lack of it. And man, did I have a lack of confidence. Your physical results are affecting your relationship results, right? And then your spiritual results. What's your relationship with God like? How often do you actually pray? When was the last time that you felt God's presence? Are you getting clear direction from Him? Do you feel connected to your purpose? These results matter because your wife wants a man who's connected to something bigger than himself. So if you don't believe in God, you do believe that there's a higher power out there, something outside of you that'll help give you guidance, right? Your children need to see what it looks like to follow God. Your leadership comes from your relationship with the Creator, right? And then your money results. What's your financial fruit like? How much money do you actually make? How much have you saved? How much debt do you have? Are you providing the lifestyle that you want for your family? Do you actually enjoy the way that you presently make money? Is that something that you find value in, that you feel like you're contributing to this world? Or do you feel dead inside every time you have to go to work and clock in, right? Money will tell you three things: how good you are at making it, how good you are at keeping it, and how good you are at growing it. And these results, they affect your relationship more than you know. Financial stress, it impacts massively on the intimacy level. Your ability to provide affects how your wife sees you. Money problems create conflict and tension. So why results matter more than reasons? Well, reasons, they keep you stuck. They make you feel better about poor results. They give you permission to not change. They become excuses for mediocrity. They prevent you from taking responsibility. And the results, when you focus on results, they force growth. They show you exactly where you are. They reveal exactly what's not working and what is working. They create urgency for change. They demand that you level up from victim to victor. Victims focus on reasons. Victors focus on results. So are you a victim or are you a victor? The real reason why you avoid looking at the results, because when you look at the actual results, you can't lie to yourself anymore. You have to take responsibility. You realize how much work needs to be done. You see how far you are from where you want to be. But here's the one thing that's missing. Results are also your roadmap to freedom. When you face your results honestly, you know exactly what needs to change. You can make informed decisions. You can measure progress accurately, right? And you can celebrate the real wins. So how do you measure your results? This weekly assessment here. What results did you create this week? What worked? What didn't? Where did you make progress at? And what needs to change next week? And here's a monthly review. How did my relationship results, how are they trending? Am I moving toward what I want or away from it? What patterns am I seeing? What adjustments do I need to make? And then be specific. Instead of we're doing better, track it. Number of meaningful conversations for this week, for this month. Sexual frequency and quality. Conflict resolution time. Does it take you 7 days to come to a resolve on a conflict? Or can you do it in mere hours or mere minutes, right? Emotional connection moments. How many of those did you have? So results versus reason examples here. Sexual intimacy. Reason. She's just not that interested anymore. Result. We had sex twice last month. New action. Focus on what creates desire in her. Emotional connection. Reason. She didn't appreciate anything that I did. Result. I haven't asked her about how her day was in weeks. New action. Initiate daily emotional check-ins. Communication. Reason. She gets defensive about everything. Result. I approach conversations with criticism. New action. Learn how to share feelings without attacking. Your assignment. This week, I want you to do a complete results audit. Your relationship results, sexual frequency. I want actual numbers, quality of conversations. How did she respond to you? What's the energy like in your home? And then personal results. What's your physical condition and energy? What's your spiritual connection and practices? What is your financial situation? And what is your overall life satisfaction? I don't want reasons. I don't want excuses. I just want results. Now write down what the fruit of your life is actually producing, right? And the truth about transformation, here's what you need to understand. You cannot change what you will not measure. If you're not tracking these results, you're not serious about change. If you're focused on the reasons, you'll stay stuck. If you're committed to the results, you will find a way. That's just how the brain works. The fruit doesn't lie about the root. If you don't like your fruit, you have to change your root. And the only way to know if your root is changing is by watching your fruit. So what's coming next? In the next video, we're going to put all of this together. We're going to talk about living the code and making this a daily reality instead of just information that you heard once upon a time. Because here's the thing, knowing the code and living the code are two completely different things. Most men watch these videos, nod their heads, and then go back to their old patterns. But champions, they will take this code and they will make it who they are. So which one are you going to be? I'll see you guys in the next video.